Had someone, a young man, reach out to me. I gave an assignment of doing a self-assessment, to do an introspective. He wrote me back and said, I don't understand your assignment. I said, well, I want you to, kind of go inside. He said, how do you do that? So I said, where are you in your room right now? I said, I want you to sit down. And I literally walked him through being still, breathing, listening to his thoughts, understanding that there are intrusive thoughts, focusing on, I walked him through what I assumed every human being pretty much knew how to do, right? And I'm just saying those assumptions we can't make. We ask people to do things and they don't know how to do it.
Now I will never be your hater, I'm your biggest fan. I hope it falls into place just how you planned it. Life could put you in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement, still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, man. There's no disrespect. I'm glad that I came across that clip. I think this is what happens when even very quote-unquote smart people who should know this by now don't really grasp the concept that men don't see the world through a female lens. She was talking as if she had to walk a guy through something that he never done before, he doesn't do, because, and I saw the comment sections like, I knew it was a man, blah, 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 blah. It's like, men don't do that. We're not raised to do that. We're not groomed to do that. We're not wired to do that. That's not what we do. You get what I mean? So we don't have the luxury of just sitting down with our thoughts and writing down and this is how I feel. Like, feelings aren't as real to us as they are to women. So a lot of times, I'm glad she was realizing, I shouldn't assume this and I shouldn't assume that. But you should interact, but you should also interact with men in the ways that men interact. Of course he's going to be confused of doing things in a female way. He's not a female. And some people will go, that's not a female way to do things. Actually, let's just say, just for hypothetical, just hypothetically speaking, okay, it's not a female way to do things. How often do you hear men doing things like this? How normal is it for you to hear a man go, you know what, I'm going to sit with my thoughts and get in tune with myself and then, feel where I'm at and come with an answer. That's not something that guys do. Sorry. But taking it a step further, it shows a lack of common sense, because and a bit of selfishness and self-righteousness. I'm going to tell you what I mean. Women expect men to understand that women are different from men. So you got to interact with women different than you do men. But women, for some odd reason, try to interact with men in a female way, or in this fantastical, what I think a man is and what it's supposed to be and how he's supposed to conduct themselves and how he's supposed to respond and how he's supposed to do things. So it's unrealistic. And it's unrealistic, but it says selfishness and laziness because you won't take the time to learn what is practical and what actually works. It's all just, I'm going to just do whatever the F I want to do. And as a real man, he going to do whatever the F I think a real man should do in these situations. That's the right thing. It's like, this is ridiculous. But, assuming, I would like to know at some point, does a person, when they get to that point and they realize something like that, do they use, quote unquote, sit down and retrospect and be introspective and go, how many fellas did I do this to? And I assume that they were this and they were that and they should have known this and they should have done that and they should have been like this and they should have been like that. And I reacted to them on the assumption of what I had going on in my head. And then looking back at it, I thought, us going our separate ways was their fault because they weren't mature or they weren't safe or they were toxic or they were traumatic or they were narcissistic. And it's like, no, you just went too far in your head to realize you're interacting with this human being in the wrong way. You're interacting with this man in the wrong way. And he's responding like you're interacting with him in the wrong way. And you can't put two and two together because your head is so far up your ass that your shit is all you see. That's a bar. So now we get to the point where, are these assumptions good for anybody? Because if they're not good for the people that you put them on, and you realize they're not good, and you trying to communicate with a person, then what the heck are they good for? And I think, just in my opinion, they're good for the narrative of what quote unquote men are. They're good. So we're going narrative over reality, and nobody cares that we're going narrative over reality. So since you don't care, you keep doing it over and over and over again. And this is the stereotypical belief when every man is the same man, and all men have the same MO, and all men have the same principles, and all men will do the same things, right? And all of those things happen to be negative when it's in your mindset. In your mind state, it is negative, it ends negative, it starts negative, the middle's negative. No matter what these guys do, the end result is going to be negative. So at the end of the day, what you come to see is, your narrative of men is what you base your whole life on. So on one, you're assuming that men see the world through a female lens, and for two, you see men as these demonic things that respond in demonic ways, and you don't really realize you're out here poking the bear and being a demon, but you're not looking in the mirror because it doesn't dawn on you that maybe you're the wrong one in these situations. So you assume that everything that's done is not a response, but just an evil person doing evil, a bad person doing bad. But it's not a response to your disrespect because you don't see yourself as disrespectful. Because you don't see yourself as, you see yourself as so right and righteous that you could have done no wrong. And how long does it take for you to go, oh, I made a bad assumption? Some people never do, and some people it takes almost a lifetime. So how much damage could they do in that time? So tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna take you there.